Let's fucking go.
Welcome to the Comic Gear Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about the Daredevil Born Again first trailer. Now, Daredevil Born Again has gone through a lot. Well, the Daredevil IP, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Daredevil has gone through a lot. First, it got canceled on Netflix like forever ago. What is it like? How long has it been now? Like 6 years ago or something like that? I can't remember. It was 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Something like that. But it was canceled years ago on Netflix. And then we started hearing rumblings about Marvel going to like do it over again. We had so many, like I made so many videos about it, talking about will they bring back Charlie Cox? Will they bring back Vincent D'Onofrio? Will they recast? And then they made a decision to bring back Charlie Cox and he'd make his first appearance in the MCU proper in Spider-Man No Way Home. And then they brought back Vincent D'Onofrio and he'd make his first appearance in Hawkeye. Which is funny enough. Like weird, like that's a crazy spot for it to be, but that's where he made his appearance. But then it still was kind of up in the air what versions of these characters it would be, because then we would later on see Matt return again as Daredevil in the She-Hulk show, and that was a great appearance from him. And arguably, like, even people who didn't like She-Hulk all agreed that episode was great. The episode that he was in, they had great chemistry. It was kind of a lighter version of Matt, but it wasn't a toned down version in a way, because it was like Matt on vacation, but you could believe that Matt is still the guy from this trailer. So, and then we finally got it announced that they were going to do Daredevil Born Again. Now, at first, this shit, like, we heard some crazy shit, like it was going to be like a 28-episode season, which is nuts. You don't really see that kind of shit anymore. But then we heard rumblings that Marvel filmed it, and they didn't like what they had. Apparently, the original Daredevil Born Again was going to be more of a lawyer procedural, kind of like one of those lawyer procedural shows, like a Madlock, or I'm trying to think of some other lawyer related shows I'm trying to think of, or like Suits, I guess, I don't know, but it was going to be more based around, it was going to be more of a lawyer drama and with action in it, and the Daredevil stuff was going to take a back seat to the lawyer drama of it all. Now, we'll never know what they were going to do. We heard shit like they're going to kill off Foggy and Karen right off the bat. Like, the vibe you got was, and even Charlie Cox was talking about it like long ago when it was when Daredevil Born Again was like whatever they were going to go with it originally, was they were going to like, whereas it's going to be a soft reboot. It was going to be a soft reboot. They were going to just like basically do their version of this character. We don't know how hard it was going to be. We don't know what it was going to be, but it was going to definitely be a soft reboot. It was definitely going to be a different version of the character. They had cast a different actress to play Vanessa. Like, a lot of things are going to be different about that original version of Daredevil Born Again. But, like I said, they filmed it. I don't know if they filmed the whole thing, but they at least filmed like the pilot, or at least, or first couple of the episodes. Feige and other people were not satisfied with it. They didn't like what it was turning out to be. They didn't like what it had become, so they scrapped the whole thing. I believe that, I don't know if they brought on new people to work on it, but then they decided to go in the direction of making at least this version, this Daredevil universe, the Daredevil and Kingpin and shit, at the very least, they decided to make it closer to the versions of those characters from the Netflix shows. Now they may they may actually be canon. I'm still like dubious about that. I still need to see it myself. Like, I need to see them mention certain things from the Netflix shows for me to completely believe it, and they're not just making it canon adjacent. But I digress. They decided to make it as close, if not canon, to that original Daredevil show, which that original Daredevil show is one of the greatest comic book shows of all time. It's the thing, like, honestly, that show was amazing. The first season, particularly the first and third seasons of Daredevil, is some of the best I've ever seen. That first season was amazing. Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox in their respective roles as Kingpin and Daredevil were great. This grounded, darker, gritty version of Daredevil, it just fit the character, it fit the vibe. Everything about that show was amazing. The fights were amazing. The way it was shot. everything about that show was awesome, like that version of the show. Now, I always had a pushback for that show being in the MCU because I was just like, I can't see the Charlie Cox Daredevil being side by side with Spider-Man. Like, he just would like, it would just be too imbalanced. Like, he couldn't keep up with Spider-Man. Which Daredevil in the comics, like, Daredevil can fight Captain America, can fight Spider-Man, can fight Wolverine. And in my brain, I'm like, this version of him is so grounded that I can't buy him fighting superpowered beings. Now, the thing that gave me, excited me, funny enough, about his appearance in She-Hulk was that they obviously juiced him up a bit. They made him more like Daredevil from the comics, with him being more acrobatic. They kind of touched up some of his things, because in the Netflix show, he was acrobatic-ish. He was kind of acrobatic. He had his moments. He had like 1 or 2 moments where he swung around. But like, Daredevil in the comics is a lot like the Ben Affleck version. That dude he's swinging around like Spider-Man. He's jumping off of buildings and shit. Jumping off of buildings and shit. Like, he's not just swinging around corners on short buildings. You know what I mean? Like, he can keep up with Spider-Man. But She-Hulk, ironically, his appearance in She-Hulk gave me hope that that's the version, that's the direction they were going to go in. Now, I still don't know if we're going to get any of that here, because this trailer, which I want to talk about a little bit, but I only want to talk about it a little bit because so much of this trailer has already been released. This trailer, as some people don't know, leaked like months ago. Like, this trailer leaked like 4 or 5 months ago. People have been already analyzing and talking about it and making videos about what was in this leaked trailer, and they didn't really add too much more than what I saw in the leaked version of the trailer, but they're really just getting across the tone, that they're going to capture that tone from that original Netflix Daredevil show. We got Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox back, and they're going to capture their roles. They kind of hint that some shit happened in the past that may have made Matt put down being Daredevil. Well, if you remember at the end of season 3, Matt never officially became Daredevil again. Now, we don't know. We have a feeling. We don't know how much of where the time placement is for whatever incident made Matt retire being a vigilante. It couldn't have been that long ago, because he was just in She-Hulk in his outfit and in his armor, and they have a reference to that the yellow and red reverse armor. The yellow and red armor in the trailer with that helmet sitting there. So clearly She-Hulk, the events of She-Hulk did happen. It couldn't have been that long ago, but we don't know. We don't know. Something happened, and I get the feeling that it's going to be something that happened after She-Hulk. It's going to be something a little bit more self-contained to Daredevil, because I get the distinct feeling that this show is going to be very, very self-contained. It is going to be something where it's like, it doesn't really affect too many other things in the Marvel Universe, because it really can't, because they can't really do too much with Spider-Man because of Sony. So I don't know who else in the Marvel Universe would even be a street-level character who's currently going, who would be affected by any of this stuff. So I get the feeling it's going to be more self-contained. I would be disappointed, as I posted up before, if they don't at least show what Matt was doing during the blip. Like, we're going to make this MCU. I really want to see that, because that's one of the curious things that I always would be interested to see, is what would it be like for a man, because like, it's already established in multiple versions of the character that Matt is constantly hearing noises and sounds. He has to tone all that shit out. Like, what would it be if suddenly every noise and sound, all these just cut out, half of it just cut out? Like, that would, or like, it would, his senses would be an overload. It'd fuck up his head. Like, what would that do to Matt to have that happen? Also, another question I have, where's the Tracksuit Mafia? Or is the Tracksuit Mafia gone? Are they going to mention what happened in Echo? There's so many questions that are still up in the air. But the action looks awesome. It looks brutal. It looks like they're capturing what they had in the original Daredevil Netflix series. It's going to be awesome. But I know, but like I said, there are certain characters that need this tone. The Punisher is another one. The Punisher needs this tone. Ghost Rider needs this tone. Blade needs this tone. There are certain characters that kind of need this tone to work. But I just hope, like this is going to be interesting to see, because this will be the first Marvel project like this that will also transition, because we already heard the rumors that Daredevil will appear in Doomsday. So how will they portray him in that. We're already curious about how will they portray Deadpool in that. Though we kind of have an idea how they'll portray Deadpool, I'm curious how they'll portray Matt in action sequences. Will he still be as brutal, or will by the end of this, you know what, I get the feeling by the end of this show, he's going to be more a superhero Matt. Like, that's the vibe I get, is he's going to be more of a superhero by the end of the season. But anyways, that's what my thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. Comment below, what are your thoughts? And please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.